Hi, my name is Hop, or Hopson, or whatever you want to call me. This is my first video I've ever made pertaining to guns, so I guess we'll go ahead and cut straight to the chase. This is how to clean an AR-15, you know, or how to clean a gun, how to clean a weapon, as my Army folks would like to call it, right? So your first step you want to do is make sure your weapon is clear, or your gun, right, or your AR-15. Make sure it's clear. You know, make sure it's on safe, just cause. So that's clear, nothing in there. All right, then what you're gonna want to do after that is these two pins here and here. All right, just go ahead and pull them out, right, as far as they can go. Take your lower, set it aside. You're mainly gonna be working on your upper. That's where all the action happens at. It's where the bang is held, as they say. So I like to just get straight to the point and take out the bolt carrier group, take out the charging handle, set it there, set down your upper. All right, and then you can use pretty much any cleaning supplies, you know, like I like to use Hops No. 9 gun oil, but there's other things you can use. There's other brands, you know. People use what they want to use. I just use Hops. You know, it's not my own brand, just to clarify, with my name being Hop or Hopson or whatever you want to call me, right? So, you know, a lot of this is like my grandpa's cleaning stuff from before he passed. So, pretty cool. But yeah, I got all sorts of cleaning crap. Anyway, so you can pretty much use anything. You can even use Q-tips. This is what I use in basic training, and they work pretty damn well. So I got them here to use. But anyway, yeah. So you want to take apart the bolt carrier group, right? There's this little pin on this side. It's right there. All right. Just take a fingernail, or you can use something to get in there and go ahead and undo it. If you can't undo it, you could use something that's long and get in there and just get it yourself like that, and you just pop that sucker out. Just like that. Bingo. Alright. Then you take your firing pin out, and comes out the bottom just like that. It looks like this. Alright. Looks like that. And this is really dirty. Shot it a lot and haven't cleaned it in a while. And usually I only clean my guns after it rains, because water's really bad for your guns. It can make them rust pretty good. So, you know, I'll clean my guns after a few shooting trips, but really I don't clean them all too much, because unless you have like a really, I wouldn't like want to say like a cheap gun, but you know, because I got a few cheap guns, but you know, a gun that's subpar, then usually you want to clean it after every shooting trip, because you want it to work, right? So also forgot to mention, so this piece right here, right, let's put it back in there. I got ahead of myself talking. So, I'm gonna be honest, I forget the name of this piece, but after you take out your firing pin and this pin, right, once you got past that, there's this little square piece here, right there. See that square piece? You're gonna take it and you're gonna rotate it, and if it's not there, you set it back like this, push this in, rotate it until it's rectangle, right? Until the square turns into a rectangle when you're looking over the gas, whatever the heck it's called. I don't remember no more. It's been a little bit. Right? And then you just take it after you turn it, and it pops right out, just like that. Take that, set it aside, and you take out this part, right? That part comes out just like that. Take that, set it aside, and now your AR is apart for cleaning. All right. If I wasn't talking so much, it'd actually be much more quicker process. I understand there's plenty of videos that, you know, people show online of them, you know, this is how you clean an AR. Well, why not make a video myself, right? I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything else anyway. I'm sitting here, so I may as well do it. But anyway, you're gonna go ahead and take your whatever you want to clean first, right? And I like to generally take, I've seen people do it with rags. I've seen people do it with these little white strips that they can get from your local gun store. Most places sell these, so that way you can clean your guns. You just start wiping everything down. Start wiping everything down. If it's already got oil on it, get rid of that oil, all right? Get rid of all the dirt and grime and dust and crap. All the carbon buildup, try and get rid of that. If there's any carbon buildup, right, it'll look like, it'll look really dirty and almost like it's burnt onto the metal pieces, especially right here. You usually get a lot of carbon buildup on this area of your AR. Usually when you get something like that, you want to take like a wire brush and just start scraping it off. And I've seen other people do it with, you know, other things. Like I've seen people use like little picks to get them off, and you know, I've used everything. When I had to clean my weapon in basic, we used toothbrushes, we used, you know, cleaning, we used Q-tips. I still use Q-tips because I'm weird, I guess. But yeah, so you can use pretty much whatever you want as long as it works. As long as it works and it doesn't leave more dirt and grime and somehow carbon buildup after you're done cleaning it, right? Because you don't want it to get too dirty. So anyhow, and once you get a lot of that carbon buildup off and you get a lot of the old oil off, right, then you can go ahead and start adding more oil. Again, you re-add the oil. But I like to do that as the last step. I like to go piece by piece and make sure you get everything off, right? So firing pin's easy. Just slide down it and just get rid of all the oil off of it. Get rid of all the carbon buildup and carbon foul and just clean it up nice and good. Make sure it's nice and shiny. Yeah, like that, nice and shiny. A lot of people will pull this piece out and it'll be black and they think it is supposed to be that color. It's not. It's supposed to be silver. So when I first cleaned my AR, first time, I pulled the firing pin out and it was black. I didn't know you're supposed to clean it. I was just like, whatever. And then later down the road, I watched a video on how to actually clean an AR. And I took a rag, I slid down it, I seen a little bit of silver and I was like, what? Yeah, fun times, right? But anyhow, clean everything off nice and good. You know, you're gonna keep on going until you get every single piece nice and dry of oil and carbon foul, all that good stuff, right? So just keep on going. Lucky, come here. Come here. No, he's being lazy. It's my dog. He's a sweetheart, I promise you. But anyhow, but that's pretty much it. And then to put it back together, you just do the steps in reverse. But I guess if you're staying on the video this long, then I don't know, you must be crazy because this ain't that great of a video. It's already 8 minutes long. Oh boy. But anyhow, yeah. Right now I'm on leave from the Army, so I'm kind of just, I went on a big shooting trip, so I got to clean some guns, and I was just thinking, why not make a video? So maybe I'll just send this to my sweet, sweet lady, Savannah, or maybe I'll just post it on YouTube and see what happens, right? So, but anyhow, now we're on one of the last steps already, just by talking so much and doing things. You're gonna go ahead and take your oil and you're gonna go ahead and start coating everything again once you took all the old oil off and put new oil on, right? That's what I do. Some folks don't do this, some folks do. Some folks use a spray. I don't. I guess I'm old fashioned. I just, you know, I coat it in oil. I coat it in a lot of oil. Now I'm gonna tell you that ARs like to run wet. They do. They like to run oily. It's better to be oiled up than dry for an AR. So, you know, I would say there's no such thing as over oiling, but don't go and, you know, dip your whole bolt carrier group in oil. You know, it's probably not the best thing. And make sure it's a gun oil. I don't know how well motor oil would do for your firearm. So, but yeah, so you're just gonna recoat it in all the new oil and everything like that. Get it all over, kind of get it in cracks and crevices that you think needs it most, and especially areas where metal is touching metal and where other areas ride, like, you know, like, shoot, good example would be this area. You can tell that it's being worn down right here. You can tell in areas that where it's being worn down. Just put some extra oil there. Why not? It doesn't hurt. It won't hurt it. You're not gonna hurt your gun. These things have been made tried and true through Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, plenty of places. Honestly, all around the world. All right, it's not just America that's using these. It is other countries too. But I tell you what, they sure do work, and they worked in the Army for me so far. So, yeah. Now we can get into a discussion of what's better, an M4 or an AR15. I could debate with you all day how the AR15 is better, but you know what? That's not what this video is, right? So, not what this video is at all. You know, the AR-15 is 100% better than a military grade M4, all right? I'd even beg to say that it's better than those new 6-hour. What are those shooting, 6.8? You know what? Just have yourself an AR. As Grantham once said, whichever side has the most ammo wins. And if you have a big supply of 5.56, which is a smaller round than 6.8, means you can carry more on your person, you can carry more in your squad, you can carry more on your fire team. It means you can win that fight. So, 6.8 may be able to punch through more bricks and more armor and everything like that, but 5.56, man, you get hit with that. I don't know a single person that's getting, you know, gonna have a fun day. So, anyhow, yeah, shoot, we're already almost done, so, but I'm just gonna coat some more oil on some of these parts here. Another thing some people do and some people don't do is oiling their barrel and taking a bore snake through their barrel or what have you, whatever you have for cleaning a barrel. Some people do it, some people don't. I personally do it. You know, better safe than sorry, right? There's no such thing as over cleaning your AR, or at least not to me. Maybe to you, you're gonna like dip it in some piranha solution. That's probably not the best idea, but you know what? That's okay. So, but yeah, so other than that though, this thing's already almost done. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting things back together here in a minute, but I just need to go ahead and clean out the barrel. So, but other than that, really almost done. It's really simple. A lot of people will get confused, especially older folks that haven't had an AR yet, and maybe they just got there first, and that's fine. You know, I was a first-time AR owner once. Now I'm 21 years young, so you know, what do I know? But I do know that a lot of older folks struggle cleaning an AR because it's a lot different. It's so much different than your average like bolt action rifle. It really is, and that's okay. That's fine. That is just fine. You know, I struggle with it. I still struggle with cleaning bolt actions over an AR because I use the AR so much. I barely remember how to clean a bolt action anymore. But so here's one of the steps that you should do. Right? You get some oil and you just coat it in there a little bit. You just kind of just wipe it a little bit. Make sure you get this star chamber in here, right? There's this chamber in here. It's right there, this area, right where my finger's going. Make sure you get some oil in there and you clean that nice and good, right? You want to make sure you get that because that's where the bullets explode. That's where the bullets go bang, and where the bullets go bang, that's where it's going to get real dirty. So that's where you want to clean. So, yep, make sure you clean that really good. If you just, what I like to do, I like to put my pinky, right? I like to put a cloth on my pinky. I just stick it in there with a cloth. I just go around in circles in there. It works. It's worked this whole time. So, you know, and I've replaced barrels after shooting them out after like about 5,000 to 10,000 rounds, right? And that's pretty average, really. So they lasted me cleaning them. So, but anyhow, so with that, now you're gonna go ahead and clean the barrel, right? So I like to take one of these, You can take a bore snake or what have you. I have a long rod thing that my grandpa used to use back in the like 80s, and you know, it's mine now. I inherited it, so I'm gonna use it. So I just take this, shove it down its barrel, right? Make sure it's the right size so it doesn't get stuck, because if it gets stuck, you're gonna have a bad day. And sometimes it can take a little bit of force to get in there, but do that like 3 times, go in and out about 3-ish times, you know, and then just, I'll do it one more time just because I haven't cleaned this since I replaced the barrel on this gun. All right, so now the barrel's been scrubbed out with a wire brush, which means hopefully we got most of the carbon foul, if there's even any carbon foul in there, right? And then you're gonna take one of these, right? This is cloth. This is a cloth tip. And we're just gonna put it in here, screw it on, right? Some people dip it in oil, some people don't. Some people like to run it dry. It ain't gonna hurt to put a little bit of oil on there, right? Ain't gonna hurt. Ain't gonna hurt nothing, right? If anything, if you're not shooting your gun for a while, this is what you should do. Because if you cover your gun in oil, it ain't gonna rust. So that's exactly what you want. Especially if your gun, if you don't shoot your gun that often, you really should get some, there's stuff called Barricade, or you can even just put Hops No. 9 oil on it, and it'll protect it from rust. It'll protect it real nice. Because if you're gonna let your gun sit, especially after a wet shooting trip, and you let it sit in your safe, it will rust. So you need to clean it, especially if it rains. If it rains and you don't clean it, you're gonna come back and you're not gonna be able to have that gun function. You're not. I've seen it with buddies. I have my one buddy, he didn't clean his gun for 6 months after we went shooting up in the snow. He didn't clean his AR for 6 months, and he came back on another shooting trip and he took it out, and he could not use the charging handle. He could not pull it back. He couldn't. I had to mortar it. I had to hit it on the ground. I had to beat it up. Finally, we got it to work, and then we cleaned it. Now it's fine, but that gun barely made it, I tell you. That gun barely made it. But I don't know, he made it work somehow. So I wasn't paying attention. Did I put this in here already? I must have. I'm gonna do it one more time just cause. But do the same exact thing with this, like 3 or 4 times, and it should be good. Even though I just did it like 6 times, but I don't know. And then with that, we're gonna go ahead and start putting everything back together, right? So remember, everything's in reverse, okay? So you're gonna go ahead and you're going to take this piece, right? Put it in the bolt carrier, right in the top. And then there's a hole, and it needs to be right on point so that way you can take this piece and you put it in right where we took it out earlier, right? You put it in right on the top. And if it doesn't go in, right? If it doesn't go in, which just happens a lot, you're gonna take this star looking piece right here, you're gonna rotate it until you see the next hole that's in there. That one should be the right size for this. And you're gonna stick it right in there, right? And it should go in just like that. And you're gonna rotate it, right? Make sure the rectangle looks like a square when you're looking at it from above. And then when you rotate it, it'll look like this, right? Okay. Make sure that's kind of nice and even. You're gonna pull it forward, okay? All right, next, firing pin. This one can be a little bit tricky, right? So make sure this piece is pulled all the way out, okay? Not here, here. All right, gonna take the firing pin. You're gonna go ahead and just drop it in. I like to drop it in here. You can drop it in from here, but it just needs to go right down the middle, and you'll find the hole, and it'll drop in just like that. And give it a nice little press. All right. Now, here's the one piece you didn't want to lose. It's this piece. I know a few folks who have done lots of push-ups for losing this back in basic. They did way too many push-ups, or maybe they didn't do enough. They probably didn't do enough. Don't lose this. I never lost one. Don't be that person. Don't lose it. If you're that person, it's okay. I know a few folks. But I'm gonna take this pin. You're gonna put it in this hole right here. Okay? Put it in just like that. Give it a good press. It'll go in all the way. All right? Bingo, bongo. Also, make sure this is clean. I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but make sure you clean your charging handle. It's really average. Just put some oil in there, rub it around. You'll be fine. All right. Now, here's the tricky part if you've never taken apart an AR, right? Charging handle in first, okay? It goes in about halfway down the charging handle. All right. You'll press down. All right. Find that super sweet spot. There we go. It just clicked in. See how that clicked in? Okay. Now, make sure this star bit right here is fully extended, okay? Make sure it's fully extended, like earlier. Make sure it's fully extended, okay? Now, you're gonna take this tube looking bit that's on the top right here, this tube bit, make sure it's down to the charging handle, okay? And now, you're gonna put it in, you're gonna put everything back in, just like that, give it a good slap, okay? Now, you're gonna take your lower. Some people like to clean the lower. You really don't have to clean the lower that much. You can clean the buffer spring if you want. I don't see a point in it. It's gonna work. All right. But, all right, you're gonna take these two pieces. They're gonna mate just like that. Pop those pins that we popped out back in earlier. Pop them back in, all right? And I like to give it a few charges. And it should feel nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. That is just beautiful, all right? Beautiful, it's beautiful. You're done, that's it. That is how you clean an AR15. I don't know, it's my first video, so hopefully y'all enjoyed it. It was a long one, 21 minutes. Anyway, hope you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.